please shut up. Yeah,
All right, so where to first?
No one cares about your opinion.
NCAC going to start on the observation at the top.
Okay.
I told them what I was going for. Didn't listen. Okay.
Okay, I'm ready whenever you are.
You are?
Yeah.
Right, extend the observation at the top. It says that negate is defined as to nullify or cause to be ineffective. This means that my only burden is to prove is to nullify the affirmative. Insofar as that's true, that means that if there's any competing right or there's any competing rights like claims that we have in the round, that means you err negative by the fact that both harm morality. If both harm morality, and that means there's like all offense is non-unique. So if I prove that there is any rights claims that the negative has left in this round, you're going to be negating. Insofar as that's true, he dropped the entire observation. This is like really huge in the round. So then go to the value of morality. Like you can extend the value of morality, and you can extend the common analysis, which says that any violation of a human being means that they lose their value in round, or that they lose their value, which means that you're always going to be preferring. Which is why that means that if there's any rights claim, which means that if there's any rights claim by the negative, that means you're going to be voting negative. All right, then go to the contention level. All right, so he starts talking about how they don't have morality and how they start to harm others. But insofar as that they're still people, like we don't take away all rights when an adult criminal like commits a crime, even if it is a murder. Usually we don't say you use there are the death penalty in some states, but in most states there's not the death penalty. They won't kill somebody for just violent felonies, which means they don't lose all rights. They only lose some rights. They still have the right to life, which means they still need to be inviolable insofar in that sense. So like if their morality harms others, then that's not a responsive argument to the rest of the case. So you can extend the Carrillo evidence that says like juveniles have not yet reached their true nature, and then you can extend the Klein evidence which says that they're less cognitive and less morally developed. So this drop is huge insofar as that he tells you, or insofar as that he's telling you like what about judge bias and things like that, and he's trying to say make arguments about he's trying to extend arguments about how the juvenile court is not as good in terms of giving rights, insofar as that they need protections in the juvenile system. They need these protections. That's a reason that you prefer the juvenile system, because it offers these protections to the adult system. Then go to the contention to racism stuff. Right. First, he tries to put a turn on this. Says like paternalism is key to solving racism. Okay, that's not a turn. That is a defensive argument that says that he solves for racism. You're not going to be looking at that. Then go to the C point. Then go to the C point. He's like talks about how my empirics are bad. Like the Blumhardt evidence doesn't use any empirics whatsoever. Like it gives a cite of a guy who says that the identity of juveniles are becoming prisonized, and that developmentally their identities are like firmly and concretely molded into criminal offenders. He gives this as a blanket statement. He doesn't say that this is only for the worst criminals whatsoever. Like even if they're just sent to an adult jail, that still means more people are becoming criminalized, and more people will become career criminals, which leads to more crime, which means that you're still preferring negative there. So so then go to the AC. Okay. All right, go down to my last argument. Like my first argument on the contention 1 subpoint C. He completely mishandled this. He we're not respecting people's like morality for the victims, but like yeah we are. We're still punishing them enough. We're still giving them a chance at rehab. We're still giving them a chance at rehab. Like he argues that we need to respect the victims' morality, but we can't just ignore juveniles' morality. So like otherwise that leads to destruction of morality. It recognizes them as valuable beings, leads to the 0 point of Holocaust and adult nothingness. Then I've already talked about the contention two stuff. Then go down to the paternalism evidence or arguments. All right, so he says that paternalism solves racism. Okay, that's fine, but that just proves my turn on case. He's telling you that like we have to use paternalism, that paternalism and racism are the same thing, so that he's able to if he's able to solve paternalism, then he's able to solve racism. But insofar as that the criminal court is the criminal justice system, the adult system is racist, that means that he can't actually solve paternalism. It proves my solvency deficit and proves that the adult criminal system is actually racist as well. So it means that is a huge link into all of the framework for the round. Like he says that this is the only offense in the round. If this is true, then he has no access to it. It's not all non-unique. You negate right there on the negate analysis. So let's go over the key issues in the round. All right. First, the affirmative has no offense left whatsoever. Like zero, zilch, nothing. insofar as that's true, you're always going to be negating off the negate analysis. Says all I have to do is nullify all affirmative offense. I clearly extended this. This goes cleanly drop. He tells you this is the only burden the negative has in the round. He gives you the okay to vote on that. Then, insofar as we have these same frameworks and deontological frameworks, insofar as that all human beings are inviolable and any rights violation leads to the destruction of morality, as long as the negative has any claim into a rights violation, that makes all morality claims and all rights violations a wash. This is not something that you can just weigh impacts. I know you love to weigh impacts, Miller, but that's not what happens with deontological frameworks. It's not about who gets more morality. It's if we get morality whatsoever. So that means that that means that insofar as the entire debate becomes a wash, there you often negate analysis in the NC. And so I have clear rights claims coming from the paternalism evidence, which he makes arguments that proves my arguments by trying to solve for racism as well through paternalism. It just means that the adult system, he doesn't actually respond to any of the warrants in the Nunn analysis that says that the adult system is racist. You can extend that there, which gives you enough offense, I guess, if you want to call it that, to prove that I have a rights violation. That means that you negate in the round because it creates rights violations being a wash.